everybody, and welcome back to the Rock and Sea Homestead. Today we're going to give you an update on the eggs that have been incubating away down here at my sister's school. She's doing a whole unit around eggs and chicks with her pre-kindergarten class here. And today I'm asking her to tell us a little bit about what they've been doing, what she's been doing to kind of teach them about the process of hatching chickens and what the stages of hatching an egg look like. So we mentioned in a previous video that one of the great things about having eggs and starting with eggs is how awesome it is for your kids, to teach your kids about those kinds of things. So some of the things that she's doing here with her pre-K class probably, could be done within just a family with your own kids if you're interested in something like that. So we're going to listen and hear a little bit about what she's up to. Then we'll go take a look at the eggs that are currently in the incubator, and we're going to tell you a little bit about how you can tell whether those eggs are doing well or not doing well. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so Sarah, why don't you tell us what you guys have been doing down here in pre-K as you're getting ready for these baby chicks to hatch?
Well, as you can imagine, the children were very excited when they came to school and saw eggs in the incubator. They also don't understand how long it actually takes. That for 21 days, nothing's going to happen in the incubator except for looking at eggs. So we have a little chart. Well, we have this, first of all, that kind of shows them the process of the actual hatching. But this is the chart that helps keep them interested in what's going on. Each day we put another egg up on our chart that shows or tells about what's happening inside the egg where they can't see. So it might say something like, it's starting to grow. The tiny chick is called an embryo, and we've learned the word embryo. And then various times along it shows what the chick looks like inside the egg. Like on this one it says the embryo is now 1 inch long. So I show them that, and we put these up on the chart. And each day there's another picture or some words that talk about what's going on until the last day when the chick is actually hatching out of the egg, which is always very exciting.
And where did you find this resource?
Well, actually, I inherited this from the previous teachers that used to do this when I first started 30 years ago. They were already hatching eggs in incubators, and this is actually the materials that they used.
30 years ago?
Yep.
Well, that's the great thing about hatching eggs is this process doesn't change.
It does not.
This is the way it started and the way it will always be.
The way they still continue to grow, and the kids are just as excited now as they ever were even back 30 years ago.
It's still really a neat experience. And I'm sure in this day and age that you could probably find a million different resources online that would help you do this, with your own kids as you guys are going through this process. This is pretty neat because it's like not only are they learning something, but it's like the countdown calendar. By the time the last egg goes up, that's about 21 days, and that's when these eggs should be ready to go and starting to hatch.
Yep.
Hopefully on a school day when they're here.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. All right, well, let's go take a look at the eggs over in the incubator, and we're going to show you a little bit about how you can tell if there's actually something happening in the side of that egg. Believe it or not, that's not so hard to do, and it's a pretty low-tech thing, really. Okay, so now we're over here at the incubator. It's actually a pretty simple little thing. I mean, there's nothing super complex about it. So tell us about what we're looking at in here in the incubator.
So inside the incubator, there's a heating element that's controlled here. And down in the bottom, we have an automatic egg turner that's also run through electricity that just turns the eggs at a regular time. And when you get, about 3 to 4 days to hatching, the egg turner comes out and the eggs get laid on the bottom of the incubator in case you have some early arrivals. We also keep a thermometer in there. Obviously, the incubator needs to be kept at 100 degrees, basically. And then there's a water trough at the bottom that helps keep the moisture at the right level. And then the eggs are sprayed with warm water just out of a regular spray bottle every few days.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And it's neat that the eggs are automatically being turned on their own. I guess if you don't have that feature, then you have to regularly go in and turn the eggs by hand.
And since this isn't a classroom, there's not always people up here on the weekends to keep up with that. So that is a vital part of our incubating experience.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, we told everybody that there's a way to know how these eggs are doing, and it's called candling. But I don't see you holding a candle.
This is just like almost a glorified flashlight. It's got a bulb that's recessed down inside so the egg will actually sit on the opening and shines a bright light up and gives you a little clue as to what's happening in the egg, if anything.
All right, cool. Well, we're going to give that a try. So hang on, we're going to shut off the lights and we'll show you what it looks like to candle an egg that looks like it's viable and maybe some that don't look viable.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so here we are in the mostly darkness, which is what you have to see anything using this candling technique. So let's see what it looks like when you candle an egg. And by the way, we've done a whole other video on this. I'm going to put a card up above here if you want to watch a whole video on candling. We've got that for you to take a look at.
Okay, first egg out of the box. You can see a dark shadow at the top, some lightness at the bottom. That dark shadow all around the top is a chick.
Okay.
With still a little bit of room to grow. By the time we get really close, that's dark almost all the way to the bottom. Yep.
Okay.
So that one's got a chick growing in it. Doesn't always mean it will hatch, but that's got a chick growing in it. Oh, let me pull the one out that doesn't have one in it.
So she's actually done this earlier with her class to kind of show them what it's like, and they have found one that doesn't look like it's got anything growing in it, and so you can really see the difference.
No
There's
shadow of
nothing there.
anything there, just a
It's just
clear
through.
egg. Yep. Nothing.
So
going
that
on
one's
in
got
that
nothing
one.
growing in it.
Everyone in that one.
So
Well, we'll candle Lance's favorite.
Yeah, we've got a well summer egg in there, and Lance is super excited about the possibility of having a well summer chick, and you can see that one's nice and full.
Yep.
Now, just cross your fingers that it's a hen, because anyone who follows us knows that we have the worst luck hatching hens.
And that's the only egg like that, so.
So we're really hoping that one ends up being. We've got some light colored blue ones and green ones. We're hoping to get some Easter eggers maybe and get some variety in the different egg colors that our hens lay, if they're hens.
So there you go. That's where the progress is going so far. As you can see, there is at least one egg in there that is not viable. There's definitely nothing growing in there. And they've discovered one other one that's not sure if it has, I mean, it looks like something's there that maybe it hasn't finished, it just stopped, it's not progressing anymore. In any case, they'll leave those in there. It's easier just to kind of keep everything in there to keep temperatures regulated, staying the same, not to make a change in the environment. So those will stay in there, even though the one for sure isn't going to hatch anything. But that means of the 12, 10 look like they're
At
probably
least,
viable
yeah.
and
Maybe
doing really well, and maybe 11. And you can see from the calendar here, we've got 1 day and a week left till chicken hatching time. So that's pretty exciting. And we're going to kind of keep taking you along on this journey of hatching eggs, and we'll take you all through the first few weeks of their development, because they change a lot in just a month or two. Shockingly large amount of change in just a couple of weeks. So we're going to bring you along on that journey. There are going to be some super excited kids here in a week and a
The
day.
day after Easter, supposed to be.
That's pretty cool.
This chart is actually caught up through the weekend because kids aren't here.
Right. So, perfect. I see.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
this is Monday, I guess,
Yeah.
right? Okay. All right, so that's cool. So they'll have some new baby chickens hopefully to come back to the week after Easter, and that will be extremely exciting. So again, encourage you, even if you don't have kids, certainly if you do have kids, this is a really cool process, and you don't have to incubate, a dozen. You could incubate just a few if you want to just go through the process, if you've got the space and the time and you're interested in doing that. If you do incubate and hatch eggs, make sure you know what you're going to do with them at the end. If you can't have them in your neighborhood, there are probably outlying areas where you live, people that are willing to take some baby chicks from you, but just making sure that you know what you're going to do with those once they come along, because they're going to get big fast. So you want to make sure you got a plan for them. But we'll bring you along on this whole process. In not too long from now, there'll be new fluffy baby chicks at the Rockin' Sea Homestead, and we're pretty excited about that. So if you hatch eggs, or if you've got any great tips on what you do with those babies as they're developing, leave them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you've hatched eggs with your children, tell us what you do to help kind of walk them through the process. If you do any activities, or if you've got resources that you use to kind of help explain to them how the process goes, we'd love to hear about that too. So, I mean, it's always great to see some new ideas. So leave those in the comments below. We'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming back and checking us out. We really appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, let's do that. There's going to be a button right down there. You're going to want to see these cute fluffy chicks when they hatch in a week or so. So subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, because that's how you're going to know we've uploaded another video. So do that if you would. We really appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up, and I appreciate my sister being willing to be a part of this video series. She, just kind of plays into our madness. She encourages us, good or bad, I don't know, but she does. So anyways, thanks again, and from our homestead to all of you, God bless and have a great day.